thought we could play Room 101, the popular TV show where people cast the things they hate into Room 101 forever. Room 101, of course, is taken from George Orwell's 1984.
Mm-hmm.
Room of all your fears and terrors, and so.
Is there a copyright issue here? Can we just steal this idea?
Well, yeah. Well, let's play Room 102.
Clever.
This is the room next door to Room 101, which is worse, in my opinion.
Is it?
Oh, Winston Smith. He'd love to be in Room 101 if he went to Room 101. He'd go, oh, get me back to Room... I didn't know I didn't know I was born. This is much worse. So, Carl, these are things that really annoy you. Don't put in things like, you know, cancer and racism. I mean, that goes without saying.
They're already in there.
They're already in there. All the terrible things in life here. This is just your little bugbears, the things that really annoy you that, you know. Well, I actually did the real show, and I put in things like lateness. That's my bugbear. I can't stand it. I think I put in parents who let their kids run riot. Parents who think that everyone is interested in their kid as much as they are. I remember I was talking about this family, right? They were passing the baby around in a restaurant, and it was like being sick, and they were all shouting about it, and I was thinking, oh, and I got onto, oh yeah, they were breastfeeding it, and at one point I went on this sort of like digression about a friend of mine who moved to the country, and the woman next door, sort of this hippie woman next door, about 40, you know, one of those sort of like long grey hair, you know what I mean? Shave your legs and stop wearing flip-flops.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, we're just neighbours and we brought you round a rice pudding. And they gave my friend a rice pudding. And she went, oh, it's made from breast milk because I'm still lactating. And I went, thanks very much. And of course she went and they threw it away and washed the dish and gave it back to her. And it annoyed me. The arrogance of coming round and saying, it's rice pudding made by breast milk. Get out of here, you dirty hippie.
Is that what you'd have said though if she'd arrived at your
No,
door?
I'd have said, oh, do you know what? I'm breast milk intolerant. No. Well, I remember the next day it went out on television. A journalist said, "Oh, Ricky Gervais showed his misogynist side." No, I stand by it. I stand by it. I don't eat strangers' breast milk. I'm saying about it totally natural. Well, it's not okay. Yeah, it's a cum sandwich. It doesn't matter if it's natural. It's fucking disgusting. Don't make me a rice pudding out of breast milk. You know, I'm not a fussy eater.
Sure. Well, you are.
Yeah.
But no, I know what you mean.
Surely you'd draw the line there of a stranger's breast milk.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Any kind of jizz flan.
Jizz flan, do you know what I mean?
That's giving you an example of the sort of thing that one might put into Room 102.
Yeah. People who try and make you eat their breast milk disguised as rice pudding.
It's quite a specific fear.
Yeah.
That one.
Graham.
Oh, come on. He doesn't deserve that.
Slugs was in there.
Slugs. So, then there's you have to put a case forward, and me and Steve decide whether slugs go in or whether they stay out, whether they've got a purpose.
It's just because I'm having a problem with slugs at the moment. There's a lot of slugs coming in the house.
Why?
Don't know. They can get where like water can't. You know what I mean? Because they're boneless, aren't they? So any little gap.
So is water boneless? There's not many bones in water.
No, that's what I said.
Yeah, but you're saying they can get somewhere that water can't.
Yeah, no, they're even more likely to because they sort of move about and that, and they're looking for light. Water's just happy where it is. You understand what I'm saying?
Why banish them all to Room 102, slugs? Because they're harmless, aren't they?
Yeah, but I also think, I mean, at the end of the day, they're happy wherever. So stick them in Room 102. They're not bothering me, and they're happy. They're not bothered what the room is.
No. This is a metaphor. Room 102 means they disappear from existence. There's not really a room where you put in slugs with people making rice pudding out of their breast milk. There's not really. No. It's not. You can't rent that room. We're saying, would you take slugs out of existence?
That's quite a tough call, isn't it? Because everyone's going to have a go. But I don't know what they do. All I know is they're clogging up my piping. I had to go out and buy a plunger. I hadn't seen them since, like, comics when I was a kid. And I suddenly thought I need one of them things that I always saw in comics. I never thought I'd need one of them in my life. It's 2008. I've got slugs in my pipes. So I went out, £3 it was. I had no idea what the going rate is for a plunger.
Where did you go and get one?
It's a hardware shop round the corner. So I went round there, said, have you got a plunger? He said, what size do you want? I said, what size have you got? He said, oh, we've got 3 different sizes. I said, I'll have the middle one. So that was £3. And took it back, gave it a bit of a plunge. And I think it was slugs. Like, all like bits of black stuff came up. I think it was slugs in there, like broken up slugs.
Well, hang on. That could just be black gunk, couldn't it?
No, it looked very sluggish. Because remember, I've had a problem with them anyway. I'll go to the toilet or whatever, look round, there's a slug climbing up the wall out of the shower basin thing.
Are you sure it's a slug?
Yeah, definitely slugs. I have to keep chucking them out because I don't like killing anything.
Right.
I didn't want to kill the slugs with slug pellets. I bought some copper ribbon.
Right. They don't like going over that.
They don't like that.
They get a little
shock
charge, yeah.
But now that should be a warning. But instead they're diverting. They've done a diversion. They've gone up the wall and across. Now it's like, that's a warning. That's like having a no trespassing sign.
Yeah.
And they're just going, bollocks to that. And they're getting in. And it's annoying me. And now you get to a point when you do say, well, if they carry on like this, I'll have to kill them because they're not... They're
not playing by the rules.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the purpose is. They just sit there still. I don't see them doing anything. I was looking at one close up.
But what do you want to do? Be
light
reading Rousseau. What do you want a slug to do?
In the same way you see a bee collecting pollen, good, it's doing its little work.
But
ants carrying big leaves or whatever.
But
the slug's just sat in the
They're
middle
all
of the
doing the
kitchen.
same thing. They're all doing the same thing. That slug is out. It's eating. It's finding food.
There's no food. There's no food in our kitchen for a slug. Believe me. There's not enough there for me sometimes. But never mind a slug. There's nothing for it. Definitely not in the shower. What's he doing? So I told you ages ago about how they cause more problems than good. They eat cabbage.
Right.
When they shouldn't be. They get in letterboxes and nick stamps.
They don't nick stamps.
They eat the stamps. They like the glue on it.
Right.
Right.
Is this a big problem, though? Is there an epidemic of slugs eating stamps?
But I think it is, and that's why they're so slow. I think they're sweating glue.
And
right?
it's slowing them
They're
down.
eating all them, and that's why they're sticking to stuff. Have you ever picked up a slug? Well sticky. They give off this glue. It's like all the glue they've eaten off stamps. They panic, and when they sweat glue.
Sweat! Think of a slug! What do you mean they sweat glue? You're making up nature. This is like Attenborough, but made up.
When you see a slug,
Yeah.
you prod it, it gets nervous, it wants to run off. But the problem is, because it's sweating glue...
It's not sweating glue!
It makes sense.
This
It's just a nonsense theory.
It's just what I've noticed on them.
Right, Rick, do you allow slugs in room 102?
Well, I think we should, if they're going to be gone forever, then we should put a case forward. They're amazing creatures.
If you haven't got them in your house, it'd be different. All you've got is people coming around saying, do you want some rice pudding? That isn't a world problem.
That wasn't me.
All right, whatever it was.
No, but they're amazing. They've got 2 sets of like antennae. The one at the top is for light, and the next one is that they can smell and get food in the air, just the slightest.
What do they do for the world?
They're food. If only.
It's not good enough, that. It's not good enough.
What do you mean? That's the ultimate sacrifice. Surely them being food for
Who's
something.
eating them?
Hedgehogs.
Do they like them?
Yeah, they love them. They love slugs.
Do they?
Yeah.
The thing is, though, if you're always going to upset someone, aren't you? With anything I put in room 1
No, you just got to make a reasoned case, and I'm not sure that you've argued well enough.
I'm
for
just
slugs.
having problems with them at the moment. I've spent £3 on a plunger, and I don't like the idea that every time I get up in the night to go into the toilet or whatever, I've got to put the light on because I might have a bit of sluggage between my toes.
Sluggage, a little bit of sluggage between the toes.
But if you're going to put everything in your house that causes problems, what else are we going to have here?
No,
boilers?
I'm not. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, you only moan about what's fresh on your mind at the moment. And I haven't, I've got to go to the house, and I dread to think how many slugs are going to be stuck to the ceiling and everything.
Right, okay, so we need to move on. So you are not putting them in?
I'm not putting slugs in.
All right, slugs have not gone in, Carl, I'm afraid.